Let me preface this video by stating that I am in no way a Doom fanboy. Doom Eternal is really the first Doom game that I've actually played. I bought the Slayers collection and dabbled with it a little bit, but ultimately didn't end up playing it too much. However, after seeing Angry Joe's review of Doom Eternal and a friend coercing me into it, I decided to pull the trigger and purchase Doom Eternal, knowing full well that the game would be a challenging and intense experience. And I just recently completed it. Mind you, on Hurt Me Plenty, but I digress. I'm a new Doom player. I picked what I thought would suit me best. Also, I should mention that all of the gameplay that you're watching is played in ultraviolence, just my first playthrough was on Hurt Me Plenty. Upon completing the game, I became obsessed with listening to the developers talk about this game because the team behind Doom Eternal has created one of my favorite games I've ever played in my entire life. I love listening to them talk about all the different enemy types and the mechanics of the game. It's so interesting because it's all so well done. And while I was browsing for these videos, I stumbled on a few videos where people were saying that there was one enemy in the game that they felt was the worst thing in the Doom franchise. It was unfair, overpowered, unbeatable, broke the flow of the game. And that enemy is the Marauder. So, what is this enemy? Well, I'll allow one of the developers of the game, Hugo Martin, to explain.
And when you're there, then the third act of the game, it's more about just showing off just how badass you can be. And the game is kind of aware that you have your black belt, and there is another black belt out there waiting to face you. You are Obi-Wan, and this is your Darth Maul, and you guys are going to have this awesome fight.
The game is aware you have your black belt, and there is another black belt out there waiting to face you. Based off of this phrase, you can surmise that when you encounter the Marauder, it's going to be quite a fight. And it is. Your first encounter with the Marauder will be terrifying, and he is a beast the first time you fight him. My initial encounter with the Marauder didn't go all too well. I held my ground for a few minutes, but ultimately was killed. And that happened maybe 5 more times. And I guess this is where I'm going to disagree with the hate towards the Marauder. Never during this time when I was fighting him over and over again and dying time and time again did I think that this enemy shouldn't have been in the game. Really, the only thought going through my head this whole time was, how am I going to beat this guy? And isn't that the same with every demon you encounter in Doom Eternal? Doesn't every enemy require a certain method of approach? Every demon has different weaknesses that you can use to your advantage. The Marauder is no different from that. Take the Cyber Mancubus, for example. You have to blood punch it one time and all of its armor will be destroyed, making it much easier to destroy. Or the Arachnotron, where you can destroy its mounted turret with a sticky bomb or a precision bolt mod. My point is that every enemy in Doom Eternal demands that you find the ideal way to approach it, killing what I like to call cows by milking them with the chainsaw for ammo, firing a sticky bomb into the Cacodemon's mouth, instantly staggering it so you can get a quick glory kill, or destroying the hand cannons on the Mancubus, disabling its most powerful attack. So then, what is the Marauder's weakness? Quite simply put, its only weakness is your ability and everything that you've learned up until this point. You need to be constantly dashing and jumping around and using your meat hook to escape him and retrieving resources from other enemies around the arena while you're fighting him. And then quickly reacting when his eyes turn green, giving you the opportunity to finally put some bullets into this bastard. And no, despite what some people may tell you, he does not pull out his shield whenever he wants, and that little demon dog does not spawn randomly. He will only pull out his shield if you attempt to shoot him or attack him outside of when his eyes are flashing green. And the dog will only spawn if you shoot that shield. It is a punishment for not paying attention. Although, it will sometimes accidentally be spawned by enemy fire landing on the Marauder's shield. That can happen. Now, I'm not defending overly hard enemies in video games. I think there are certain games that I've played where there have been enemies that were just overpowered and not fun to fight. That's what makes the Marauder different. He is fun to fight. I get really excited now every single time I see one show up because it's so rewarding to have finally figured out an effective way of beating this guy that allows me to defeat him in under a minute usually. Simply put, it's very satisfying to fight and to struggle and to finally learn how to defeat an enemy. That is a good type of challenging encounter in a video game. The Marauder is meant to break up the flow of the game in a way, which is not a bad thing. I don't see anybody complaining about the Archvile in this game, which effectively does the same thing. If you don't destroy the Archvile, enemies will just constantly be spawning, so you kind of have to focus all of your energy onto this guy as soon as he spawns and destroy him before taking on anyone else, because if you just destroy every other demon in the arena before the Archvile, you're just wasting everything, because they'll just spawn over and over again. It's the same thing with buff totems. No one's complaining about those. But as soon as you see that an area has one, you have to pause what you're doing, go and find it, and destroy it. Now, yes, the Marauder is harder to defeat than a buff totem. I am not comparing the two in terms of difficulty. What I am saying is that a change in flow of gameplay is not necessarily a bad thing. The flow of Doom Eternal is based off of quick reactions, being resourceful, using the environment to your advantage, and approaching every demon in the most effective way possible. The Marauder does not change that. He does require more of your attention, and you can choose to try to take him on in the middle of a battle, which is probably not recommended. You can take him on at the very beginning, focus all of your attention on him, get him out quickly, and then destroy the rest of the enemies. Or you can kill off the rest first, and then approach the Marauder. It really is your decision, and you can be successful in any of those methods. It just takes practice. And if you're struggling with the Marauder, I can tell you right now how you can kill him. Equip your super shotgun and your ballista. Have those be your weapons that you're going to quick switch between. Do not stand still. A lot of people will tell you that you need to find a sweet spot. There is no enemy in Doom Eternal where you need to find a sweet spot and stand there. You need to constantly be moving. So here's the method. Stand away from him. Allow him to throw his projectile and dash to dodge it. He may do this more than once. If he does, just stick with it. Eventually, he will begin charging at you. Your window of opportunity is about to open. As soon as his eyes begin to flash green, blast him with your super shotgun, quick switch to your ballista, shoot him with that, and dash out. You just need to repeat this a few times, and he will be dead. And that's it. My point here is that we shouldn't be blaming the developers and saying that this enemy shouldn't be in the game. That's just silly to say before you've even attempted to learn how to defeat him effectively. Because once you do, he's easy and very satisfying and very rewarding. id Software really has created a masterpiece here, and we need to give them credit for that. Everything from the opening scene to the end credits is crafted with the utmost care, and it is apparent that the developers love video games just like we do, and wanted to create an experience that was nostalgic just by giving us that feeling of playing a game for the sake of playing the game. Doom Eternal is not a platform for the developers to make more money off of. It is a classic feeling video game built for players to have fun with, and that needs to be commended. id Software, I tip my hat to you for making such a fantastic game that has given me hours and hours of fun, and I am still trying to 100% the game to find every secret little nook and cranny and to defeat all the Slayer gates, and I'm excited to see what's ahead of me in this game. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am not trying to insult anyone or call anyone out, hence why I'm not naming any names for people who made these videos against the Marauder. I simply thought that I would give my 2 cents because I really did enjoy this game, and I really enjoy the Marauder. I just feel like that needs to be said. So thank you. I hope you're all doing well. I hope this video is finding you in good health. Stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic day.